Welcome to Joy Connection, a time where we connect in conversation to help you connect with joy. We'll be right back with Denise Boswell Buck, my guest for today. I'm so excited for you to be part of this conversation. We welcome Denise Boswell Buck, a woman whose passion is to help women-led businesses improve their social media presence. Thank you for being here with us today, Dee. I'm so glad to be in conversation with you.
Thank you so much for having me, Shireen.
Please tell us what it is that you actually do. What is your business name and how is it that you find joy in what it is you do? Because you know, me and technology, we're not really friends.
My name is Dee, and my company's named after me. It's Boswell Buck Creative Consulting. And what my team and I do is we help women in the online space connect with their ideal clients with strategy. And we do this through social media management. We do it through online ads. And then we also provide online audit and strategy as well.
Online audit and strategy, online presence, online connections with their ideal clientele.
Right.
I don't think those are the words you used, but I was trying
Their dream clients.
Their dream clients. Yeah. But how do you actually do this? And how did you get into doing this? Because I know you were doing something else, but here is your sweet spot. Here is where you find joy. It actually excites you while it makes me go,
Yeah, well, I kind of fell into entrepreneurship by accident. So I worked at a 9-to-5 for 26 years with a retailer at a warehouse.
Okay.
And I had my daughter. So my husband and we had our daughter what people would consider to be late in life. And at the age of 41. And the thing is that a lot of my friends, they already had their kids.
Right.
So I was very lonely, kind of depressed. And what I did was I created a mom group. I needed to have people around me because in my 9-to-5, I worked with like thousands of people every single day.
Yeah.
So by the time I returned back to work, there was 400 active members in this mom group. And it all happened by accident. And while I was nursing my daughter, I created a website. I had a Twitter, a Facebook account. And I was really proud about what I did. I experienced a lot of joy as well. And before I went back to work, I said, let me update my LinkedIn account. LinkedIn is so boring, but I'm so excited about what I did. Put all these things in that I did. And the next day, these words were coming up. Social media management, digital marketing. And I was like, what on earth is this? And I said to my husband, people get paid to post stuff. That's all it was to me. Yeah, so I went back to work. I went back to school. Night school.
Yes.
And then I became certified in digital marketing. I hoped I was going to get a job at my workplace, and I did not. And eventually it just led me to saying, you know what, I think I want to do this on my own and become an entrepreneur.
And here you are.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how God uses, you know, all of these connections that we would never have thought about. Like you created a mom group.
Yeah.
So, and it was out of a need. And then out of that, you're just like, let me go and update my LinkedIn because I have to go back to work. And other names came up and here you are.
Yeah.
And to me, that's amazing because it's God who is saying, I have something better for you.
Yeah.
It's God who is saying, I'm using every single part of your life to create a new door, to create a new thing, but it wasn't new to him. He was planning it. And now here you are. You get paid to do this.
I am blessed.
You are blessed, but you know, what you thought was nothing has become something. I'm sure that in creating your own company and creating your own business, there were some ups and downs, some challenges, but how did you stay connected to joy to keep pushing you forward? You know, what would you tell somebody else who is struggling or they've come up with this brilliant new idea and they might be afraid to take the step? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I would have to say that, yes, so amazing that you have these skills and that you've got leadership to create things that people want. But tapping into your faith is huge.
Yeah.
I really believe that. I always believe that, like everything that you mentioned, like people talk about ripples, and I truly believe it's God saying that, oh, this is one step that connects you here.
Here and there.
And if you think that something's not really working out, I don't know if you've ever seen, there's a picture where somebody is chipping away through, it looks like they're chipping away through a dungeon or something.
Oh,
They're
wow.
trying to break, it's going somewhere. They're trying to break free, and right on the other side, so you can see like how far they've come.
Yes.
And then if you look at this cartoon, they just have this much more to chip through. And that's usually what it's about. So I always tell everyone that, running a business, it requires a lot of faith. Because
Not just work, faith.
it requires a lot of faith. You never know what's coming around the corner.
Yeah.
Running a business, it's an adventure. So you need to have that faith so you don't give up.
And I always say to people, as I've repeated often, the joy of the Lord is my strength. Because yes, you need faith, but how do you feel faith? With joy, because scripture tells you that that's how you gain strength. And for you to say, you have to keep going. You can't give up, chip away. So what is it in doing your business that is the joy factor for you?
I love to help, but where is this going for me? A long time ago, I had a side hustle.
Okay.
And I would hand paint silk scarves.
Oh, wow.
And I was at this really large, it's a very popular handcrafting show. And the first day, I sold nothing. I paid over $2,000 for this booth because I'm going to sell a lot. Like, I have faith that this is all going to happen, and nothing happened.
Oh.
And I was like, this was not a good idea. And I was walking to my car. It was a dark parking lot, and my footsteps were like, ba-dum,
Very heavy.
very heavy. And a woman was walking in the parking lot. She's like, my goodness, those steps, what's going on? And I said, I had such a really bad day, and I think I made a mistake. And she said, you know what? I have a booth, and I also do wholesaling. I'm going to come around to your booth the next day. And so what happened was that she came to my booth. We chatted about my scarves. And by the way, that second day, I sold so many scarves. I made
You
my
didn't
money.
give up.
Yeah, I didn't give up. But what happened was that lady, she became my friend. And also, it was my first stint in hiring somebody. So she became a wholesaler for me.
Wow.
She would reach out. So when often sales feels very icky for us, she would reach out. So within a couple of years, my scarves were in over 100 stores throughout North America. But the thing is that if she didn't help me, like that one person, so that always brings me joy that people are struggling with marketing. Like they're so excited about their business idea, but it feels really weird to sell, right?
Yes.
And just the fact that I can help them with that brings
right.
me so much joy.
Well, because you know what it was like to be helped.
Yeah.
And so it's paying it forward. I know this is a business for you, but the very fact that you're able to help somebody else achieve their goals is because we learned that somebody else helped us.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about that story, and I'm thinking, so many times we think we're in a place for one reason, and God turns it around for another reason. You made no sales that first day. But if you had, you would not have been walking the way that you were.
Exactly.
And she would not have noticed that, and you may not have met her. But God, right? Like God already knew what it was that he was putting in place and leading you to. And I just think that those kind of stories give me goosebumps.
Right?
I think that those kind of stories are exciting. So that kind of story was your experience. Can you tell us of a time that you really helped somebody that was where you were and things turned around for them with you being their one person? What kind of joy does that bring you? And do you have any stories like that?
Okay, well, in my field of digital marketing,
Yes.
there are a lot of people who do digital marketing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, I'm going to do air quotes, a lot of competition out there.
Yeah.
And so often people feel that, okay, I'm going to hire somebody, and then they don't get the results that they want. So they
Yes.
hire a nephew, or they will hire somebody who just doesn't get their, they don't get their brand voice out there.
Yeah.
They don't get the results that they want. And what happens is that they're not getting any sales for their business. So
Right.
I'll use an example. I have a client and she has a cooking school, and she was really struggling with showing up because she's busy running her business.
Yeah.
So having a very difficult time showing up on social media. And once she connected, so she reached out 1 year and then didn't hear from her.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then she reached out again another year, and we worked together. And what happened was that she started to get more people to sign up for her services.
Yes.
She's really great at doing so on Instagram. She does a lot of great videos.
Yes.
And she does a lot of great videos. She does Instagram reels, and those are those short form videos, and it gets people really engaged, but then people don't quite know what it is that she does.
Okay.
So working together, she was able to have more people actually reach out for the services that she does.
Yes.
Actually sign up for her summer school events and things like that. Yeah, I'm not too sure if that's a good one, but
but it is it's a good one in the sense that what her own objective was,
Yeah.
she wasn't reaching it, and you helped her reach her objective.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's a joy story.
I think sometimes we have a difficult time celebrating what it is that we do for others, right?
Right.
Like I have an accountant, and if they only knew how much joy they brought to me, but they're probably like, yeah, it's another spreadsheet, right?
Maybe you need to tell them.
I should tell them.
You should tell them, and then you'll be fueling their
Yeah.
life with joy. So as a woman who helps other people achieve their goals, when you are in a challenging time, when it's a hard time, what is it that you do to help yourself connect with joy?
So I'm a huge believer in gratitude.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And then also I look for ways to find that gratitude. One of the things that I started doing last year is writing in a gratitude journal, right? I'm going to say though that I know of other people who would do this, and I was like, this is not going to work. And I didn't do it because I needed something to work. However, in terms of gratitude, people sometimes have it worse than you do,
Yes.
right? So my journal at the beginning of every day, it's like, what are you grateful for?
Yeah.
So this week, it's like it's a Saturday, or it's March break.
Yes.
And then on the other page, it's like list some great things that really that happened today.
Yes.
And then I list them out, and it could be as simple as I walked the dog and the weather was so nice.
All those things we take for granted.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And then there's a saying that in terms of gratitude that I always remember, where it's a quote that says, just remember 5 years ago, you wished that you could be where you are today.
Oh, wow. So it's being able to celebrate the little things in every day, and then when you look back, you realize you've actually moved farther.
Yeah.
That's a really amazing lesson.
Yeah. And I want to say at the end of the page for my gratitude journal, I put, and God has my back.
Yeah.
God is good. Like something to that effect. Because I remember that the weather was wonderful, but somebody else has my back too.
Yes, and that somebody else is God.
Yes.
And for other people, God is using you to have their back. So I'd like you to tell people, where can they find you? If you are a woman out there that needs some help in transforming your social media presence, I'm one of those women. I might have to connect with Dee. But if you are a woman out there, where are they going to find you?
Yeah, so you could find me online. I'm very active on LinkedIn, so you could find me at Denise Boswell Buck. And then you could also find me on Instagram at D Boswell Buck. So it's very, very simple.
Very easy.
Website D Boswell Buck.
D Boswell Buck everywhere. Just remember D
Yes.
Boswell Buck. One thing that you want to leave with people, one message.
Yeah, so I would say that the message that I have is keep going, right? When you feel like giving up, just think about where you were and just have that thanks that you're not there, and just keep going.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Dee says to keep going, and I would say that too, because I know from my own story that it is the one step at a time that has helped me to make it into more moments and more connections of joy. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining us today, Dee. It's been a wonderful conversation.
Thank you.